Washington air crash and the deadly collision has raised several questions. There is plenty of speculation floating around and lots of theories being put forward by experts and analysts. According to reports coming in, one air traffic controller was working at the time of the fatal mid-air collision near Washington, D.C.'s Ronald Reagan National Airport. The Federation Aviation Administration, or the FAA, has confirmed that the air traffic controller working was doing the job of two people. The air traffic controller was on duty when the mid-air collision between a Black Hawk helicopter and a passenger plane killed 67 passengers. The FAA preliminary report found that air traffic control tower staffing was quote-unquote not normal for the time of day and the volume of traffic. It is also being reported that shortly before the American Airlines regional jet and an Army helicopter collided near Reagan National Airport on Wednesday night, the plane's pilots were asked to pivot its landing route from one runway to the other. Now, this is according to a conversation overheard on audio recordings of conversations that occurred between an air traffic controller and the pilot.
Yeah, when you get to South Cab, you're going to see a lot of trucks on the east end of the field. You'll be met with Black Death 1. If there's any way you can assist, let me know. If you're unable to...
American Airlines Flight 5342, which was en route to Washington, had originally been cleared by the National Airport's Traffic Control Tower to land on the airport's main runway called Runway 1. But in the final moments of the flight, the recording showed that the jet pilot was asked by air traffic control to instead make a circle landing on a separate intersecting runway, Runway 33. Now, this raises questions about the safety of using intersecting runways, which the FAA has sought to eliminate or even close in recent years in places like Chicago and Dallas because of concerns about congestion on the ground. Now, in the aftermath of the mid-air collision between American Airlines Flight 5342 and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter, officials and the public are seeking urgent answers regarding the cause of this disaster. Investigators are working to determine if either aircraft involved in the collision near Reagan National Airport was in unauthorized airspace. Experts are also examining whether the collision avoidance system on the American Eagle jet was functioning and if the Black Hawk helicopter had a similar system in use. The National Transportation Safety Board, or the NTSB, is leading the investigation to determine the cause of the crash and said that it will issue a preliminary report in 30 days. Investigators have also recovered the black boxes from the mid-air collision. NTSB investigators have recovered the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder from the plane.
We do not know what led to this crash, but we have some very strong opinions.
Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has launched a political attack blaming diversity and inclusion policies championed by his Democratic predecessors for the cause of the incident.
I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first. And they put politics at a level that nobody's ever seen.
U.S. President Donald Trump had a question that anyone who has seen the video of the Army helicopter flying into the American Airlines passenger jet would have thought about it. Why didn't the helicopter go up or down or even turn? Trump is questioning why the Black Hawk Army helicopter didn't turn or go up or down to avoid the plane that was clearly visible. The American president said that the tragedy should have been prevented. The American president has even questioned the directions given by the air traffic controller at the time of the incident. There are some big questions that still remain unanswered. Was either aircraft out of place? Was American Flight 5342 on the correct approach at the correct altitude? The second question, did the collision avoidance system respond? All commercial aircraft in the US are required to be fitted with a warning instrument known as the Traffic Collision Avoidance System, or TCAS. Military aircraft flying in civilian airspace may not be required to have that system installed or operational, but some do anyway. Another question is, did air traffic controllers at Reagan National give clearance for both the helicopter and the regional jet to be in the same place at the same time? Well, these questions and a lot more are being asked on social media platforms, even as the Federal Aviation Authority said that it had already started an investigation and that how the National Transportation Safety Board is gathering additional information. For now, the focus will be on the investigations as to just who or what was behind the tragic crash.